Good morning, guys. So this week we'll be starting with our Unit 2 benchmark reading. You will need this book. So your Unit 2 booklet, characters, actions, and reactions, a highlighter, and maybe a pen or pencil if you wanted to take some notes down, okay? We will begin on page 4 and 5. So have that ready. So day 1 for this week, we will be reading, let me go and grab it real quick. Okay, right here. We'll be reading The Gnat and the Lion and The Gnat and the Bull to kind of analyze character. Now, good readers always know that to understand a story better, you need to understand the story's characters. And so in this unit, we'll be reading fairy tales, fables, and fantasies to kind of get a look at what type of different characters there are and how their actions can and reactions can let you know more about them and also let you know more about the book or the text itself, okay? So I'm going to wait for you to turn to your booklet, page 4 and 5, and then we will begin. I'll go ahead and show you that booklet right here. It should look like this with a picture of a lion at the top and then a bull on the bottom, okay? I will highlight on my screen for you. You're going to use your highlighter and follow along with me. So what we're going to highlight for now is some key events, things that are important to know so that when you retell the story, you are including those key events, okay? So let's say you're retelling a story or you're trying to summarize it to somebody really quickly about what the gnat and the lion's about. You want to make sure that you include these key events in that summary of yours. Okay. I'm going to start at the top with paragraph 1. I'm going to grab my highlighter real quick. I kind of want it, a blue color, so I'll do that. Okay. Away with you, vile insect, said a lion angrily to a gnat that buzzed around its head. But the gnat was not in the least disturbed. So here we already kind of set the tone and know that there's two characters. One, the gnat, two, the lion, okay? And this is where they kind of first meet. So I kind of want to highlight that to make sure that I know and I remember that, hey, this is important. This is where they first meet. What are they doing, right? The lion went and kind of shoot it away, and then the gnat was buzzing around the lion's head, okay? Paragraph 2. Do you think, he said spitefully to the lion, that I am afraid of you because they call you king? I also want to highlight that because I know that that is what the gnat reacted, or that's how the gnat reacted to the lion. So he's not afraid of the lion, okay? Paragraph 3. The next instant, the gnat flew at the lion and stung him sharply on the nose. Okay, this is where I might make a prediction. Remember, we were talking about predictions. What's going to happen next? What do you think the lion's going to react to with the gnat stinging him on the nose or her on the nose? So I'm going to go and highlight that as well. Gnat flew at the lion and stung him on the nose. Okay. This made the lion mad with rage. How many of you thought that the lion would be mad? Yeah? And so he struck fiercely at the gnat, but the lion only succeeded in tearing himself with his claws. How many of you thought that the lion would swat and kill the gnat? Maybe? Okay. So the lion was not successful. Again and again, the gnat stung the lion. The lion was now roaring terribly. At last, worn out from their battle and covered with wounds that his own teeth and claws had made, the defeated lion gave up the fight. Did you think that the lion would win the fight? If he did, your prediction was wrong, right? The lion was defeated and he gave up. So I also highlighted that because that is our conclusion to the two characters' fight. Paragraph 4. The proud gnat buzzed away to tell the whole world about his victory, but instead he flew straight into a spider's web. I want to also highlight that because that tells me, okay, what happened to the gnat at the end. And there he who had defeated the king of beasts came to a miserable end, the prey of a little spider. So the moral of the story is pride goes before a fall. If you think about that, it kind of means, well, this proud gnat was too proud of how great he was in defeating the lion that he didn't even notice that there was a spider web there that could hurt him or defeat him, right? And so that's kind of what pride goes before a fall means. And then now we want to look at the next short story, The Gnat and the Bull. I'm going to go and change my highlighter. I like to do that. Keeps me engaged in reading. And so here, I'm going to read the story for you, help you with one key event, and then I'm going to ask you to go through and try to find some more key events. I'm going to give you a hint, so this is the first time we're doing this, that there might be 3 total, okay? All right, I'm going to start at the top of page 5, the gnat and the bull. The 2 characters here now are the gnat and the bull. A tiny gnat flew over the meadow with much buzzing for so small a creature and settled on the tip of one of the horns of a mighty bull. This sets the setting for me. I know that the gnat landed on the bull's horn, and that's how they first meet. And so I think that's important, and I want to highlight that, okay? So let's see, where do I start? I'm just going to start right here, settled on the tip of one of the horns of a bull. I don't need to highlight everything. I just need to highlight the parts that will remind me of that key event. So now I'm going to begin reading, and you're going to go ahead and highlight what you think is the next 2 key events. After the gnat had rested a short time, he made ready to fly away. But before he left, he begged the bull's pardon for having used his horn as a resting place. "You must be very glad to have me go now," said the gnat. "It's all the same to me," replied the bull. "I did not even know you were there." So the moral of the story is we are often of greater importance in our own eyes than in the eyes of our neighbor, which kind of means to me that you're more important than you think you are. And sometimes that is the case for us. We are in class and we kind of feel like everyone's looking at us and knows what we're doing at all times, but often that's not the case. Often, your neighbors or your classmates are paying attention to something else. So that's how I relate it to, myself when I was your age with that moral. Okay, now that we're done with this, I'm going to go over to our slide. So we did that. We read the 2 stories. I highlighted some of my key events for the first story, and then you had your job to highlight some key events too. For the second story, we'll come back to class and talk more about these key events and how to use it in a summary. So that's right there. And then we're also going to compare and contrast the gnats from the 2 stories and, what are his character traits. And then afterwards, later on, I will assign a short write for you right here. And this is what you're doing on day 1, and you're good to go. See you soon.